Welcome back everyone. Today we're going to design a special car. This is perhaps the most special car this year in 2025. I want to give it a go. The difficult thing is to get blueprints for this car. But to be honest, I'm not going to let that stop me. So I've used Google to gather the blueprints I can find, which is basically of the older McLaren F1 LM car. I've gathered reference images of the front of the vehicle and the side of the vehicle, which will be very useful. So let's go ahead and open Blender. Let's create a new file. Let's delete our existing cube, light setup, stuff like that. Let's turn on our screencast key. And let's begin by adding some of our references. I'll definitely use this image as a reference. So all we need to do is just to position this. Let's also add the older blueprints for the older car. Now with the image, we might just have to scale this down as much as possible. Let's turn on opacity, turn this down slightly. And we obviously want these cards to be similar in size. Sometimes I'm going to want to use the blueprint. Sometimes I'm just going to use this one. Now we need an image for the side profile. I've got some images of the car of the side profile, and those are what I'm using as examples. Let's go ahead and add this reference image as well. Rotate it on the z-axis 90 degrees. So this is a great basis to start. You can see the outline in the image that we can start with. So let's go ahead and add a single vertex. Let's move this up and let's begin extruding. So we'll begin extruding this area. Then we can look at this from this perspective and we can move it up. We're also quite lucky that the new vehicle is very similar in design to the previous vehicle. So we can just move these vertices up slightly. We don't need this edge right here. I'm not sure how exactly that happened, but it's okay. Okay, good. We got that. So we want to add a mirror modifier. That is even better. And as you can see, it's not making much sense on the left-hand side. And perhaps the image just need to be adjusted. You can see the logo was off center. And let's subdivide that. Subdivision modifier. Another vertex right there. Carry that one out slightly. Carry this one out slightly. But that's the basis for our car design. This is what it would look like on the blueprint, of course. But if you turn on the opacity on your blueprint, that's what it looks like. Let's just add a circle. Let's go to the side view because this will be our wheel arch. Let's align this to the view. And let's change the vertex count to 16. Let's tab in, press S. Carry this to the wheel arches. And for this area, I actually want the image. Yeah, that's brilliant. I want the image as an example. Let's set the origin to geometry. Tab in, scale this up, and carry it back slightly. Subdivide by 2. And it's unfortunately in the center, so we need to carry it out to the right-hand side slightly, like around there. Here's what we will do. We will take this circle. We're going to delete some of those vertices and we're going to duplicate this once again, scale this up, carry this within. That's better. That is a little bit better. There we go. With this group of vertices, I'm going to duplicate this and I want to carry it down. For now, we're actually just going to flatten this slightly. It's not perfectly flat, to be honest, so we also want to keep that in mind. This would be a good time to look at our reference once again. Blueprint. And we know this is not entirely flat, so we're going to follow the curvature slightly. With a lot of these, we're just going to merge a lot of these vertices and we're going to adjust them. We're going to merge these as well. Adjust that one slightly. That's better. And we know there's a line right there. There's a line right there. So with this one, we're going to separate this for now. It's not supposed to be that high, but it is supposed to be wider. Kind of like that. Delete those ones. Carry this one up. Carry these ones up also. Good. We're going to delete this vertex. We're going to carry this one out and carry it down. Kind of like that. Honestly, at this point, I'm kind of like just going with the flow. I'm going to duplicate this once again. Carry this one forwards. Separate this one. And we're going to adjust these slightly. I'm going to make it tilted inwards slightly because we know that around that area, that's where it's indented. But it's a lot flatter than that, naturally. Like those, we're gonna merge those for now. And let's carry them up. Let's carry it up. Let's carry it back. This one, similar thing. These ones, we're gonna carry them down just like that. These ones, we can probably delete those for now. Delete those vertices for now. This one, we're gonna carry it out slightly just to make sure that it's correctly aligned. This one, something along those lines. But even from the front, you can see it's not ideal. So as we go along, we're going to need to do a lot of work. Right, one of these weren't adjusted correctly. This one, we need to carry that one forwards. And then we need to adjust these vertices. That's interesting. I wonder what we should do around that area. Now this area, I do know. You know what? With this, I'm going to adjust it, but not entirely, because we know we cannot trust the reference too much. Like if I brought it all the way up there and start adjusting from there, how would that look? It would look completely off slightly. And that's mostly because the image at the side and the image at the front, completely different angles, very different sizes, different perspective. So this is why I kind of want to keep the design like this, almost. We're merely using this area as an example. Even the top image, completely off. This would be a good time to use our blueprint to confirm if we're even on the right track. So we're going to go back to our blueprint and we're going to use it from here, using reference images as well as part of our guide. So we know there's a little gap right there. So let's carry this down. Let's carry this one forwards. And then we know right there, duplicate this as well. Carry it in this direction. I'd say separate this for now. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to manually adjust these. I'm going to merge these vertices. That could work. We also have to lower this as well. And join it again. Control J. Let's go ahead and fill those faces. See if this works. Doesn't work quite well. Let's extrude a vertex right there. Let's fill this. These vertices in X-ray mode. Select them, merge them. I'm going to duplicate this area once again. And key thing here, we're going to carry it down. So a lot of this, it is using the previous vertice to do our design. With this, I'm going to create a new loop cut right there. With these areas, we're going to carry those up slightly, particularly with these vertices. We're going to carry this up because we know that there's that part of the vehicle. It's very much extruded inwards. That dent goes quite a far way down. You can probably use matte cap at this moment if you wanted to. We need to set normals. Select all, set normals. So that's looking interesting, isn't it? Yeah, I guess that is looking a little bit interesting. Wonder if it'll be a good time to join those. Yeah, let's join those. As for these vertices, we can delete those. Let's merge these two. I have no idea if this is going to work, if I'm being completely honest. Let's press double G, carry this one in. Double G, carry that one there. Let's merge those. Well, actually, let's carry them forward. Carry this out. Carry this forward again. And let's fill. Double G, carry this out. And fill those remaining areas. And fill this area as well. Wonder if we need to add a loop right there. Probably don't need to if I'm being completely honest. That probably just overcomplicate it. So we can dissolve that vertex if we wanted to. Now we know this area, it flows rather well. So here's what I'm thinking. It's kind of like adding another loop cut inside there while I carry these vertices out, carry this one out as well, and adjust these vertices also. Can adjust those ones as well because I'm just looking at the shadow of the design and you can see inside there, that's really where the design is indented in a very nice way. Like it's properly indented in a very nice way. I'm gonna press double G and adjust these as well. It can quickly become a mess or quickly become interesting. I wonder if it's time to join these ones. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's be bold. Actually, what I've noticed is that I haven't saved this file yet. So go ahead and save our file. Let's save in increments, just in case we lose anything. Let's hide that for a moment and let's get back our image right there. The image I'm choosing to trust the most right now is kind of the top image because it's probably the most accurate image that we have as far as reference images go. Because this is not accurate. As you can see, it's off angle. This one is off angle, but the one at the top is actually surprisingly quite helpful. But as for these ones, everything else, we can't trust it too much. We gotta be a little bit reserved with everything we're doing. Let's carry that vertex right there and let's fill this area. Now we know there's vents right there. I gotta be honest with you. To get that right may not be as easy as it looks. But that's okay, like it's not supposed to be easy, is it? Could use a boolean, could use so many different methods. But slowly but surely, this is what we start to get from our design. And this is as basic as it goes. You can always get rid of the subdivision and you can always shade this flat if you wanted to work with something that's something like that. But don't forget your images. Don't forget your videos as references. Use those videos as references as much as you can. So we know we need to join this as well. Let's join those. We don't really have to do that yet, but I want to because I want to start to get an idea of our design. Let's fill those areas as well. We might have to readjust this somewhat because you can see at the moment it's not exactly looking too correct. Let's fill those areas as well. Fill those areas as well. And we kind of need to decide what we're going to do with these vertices. Because at some point, these need to be edged in. Kind of like that. From the side, we honestly kind of have to use the blueprint. Instead of using the image. We kind of have to use the blueprint as a little guide. And even there you can see there's a lot of inaccuracy, but that's the older car design. So we're just keeping those things in mind as we go forward with our design. Let's carry that one down slightly. I wonder, do we need to fill those? And probably carry that one up. So honestly, what I'm also doing is I'm just working with the flow of how things feel with the car. Just working with the flow. I had a feeling we might need another loop right there, to be honest. But where exactly that loop need to be, that might be the tricky part. Let's duplicate this, carry this one forwards, carry these forwards as well, and we may just fill that area and adjust these ones as well. We know there's a cutout right there, very nice, beautiful, convenient cutout, but we may leave that part until last. We may not touch that until we know it's the right moment. Let's adjust these as well, get these a little bit straighter. Let's fill those and fill these as well. Interesting. Wonder if we need to add vertex right there. That is interesting. Does that work? I sometimes have issues around these areas with what works and what doesn't. We're gonna fill that area as well. Gonna fill that area. Gonna add a little loop right there. Gonna fill these areas as well. Fill those areas. And add a loop right there. And another one right there. Okay. That's what we get after a while. Now this right here might just be the most unnecessary piece. Can probably get rid of that. And as for the car, it's a lot more flat. It's a lot more flat than we give it credit for. Let's adjust this slightly. Especially this area of the car, it's just so seamless. But it's hard to get that part right. Or should I say difficult? Yeah, it's probably just a little bit difficult. It's probably not hard to get it right. It's probably just a little bit difficult. So we're just going to carry these down as well. Starting to look a little bit familiar, but still. And the reason why we get rid of some of these is because it's probably just unnecessary. Honestly, these as well, can probably get rid of those and join these once again. We'll probably manually use our knife tool right there. Don't like how it looks now, though. But if we add something right there, it looks better. What if we did this? What if we slightly separated these? Let's just carry this across there a little bit. Now, with a lot of adjustments, this will eventually look a lot more like what we actually want it to look. I have a feeling I want to redesign this area slightly with probably some studying. With some studying to do, kind of want to readjust that area. But we know this area, this needs to be sort of cordon off. Kind of like this is duplicated, and carry it out slightly. Probably scale it down a little bit and just fill these areas. Duplicate it again, scale this down, and probably same thing there. See if that works. Yeah, it's kind of like that. This is probably unnecessary, if I'm being completely honest. It does look unnecessary. Just get rid of it for now. So I don't know, just as a quick update, what do we think? How's it going so far? We got some parts right, but definitely got some work to do on a lot of other areas. Let's bring back our image for this side. Never worry about how the image actually looks. I mean, just like it's off center and everything. A lot of things are incorrect. Never worry too much about that. What we know is that around this area, that line starts to form. So once again, carry this out. Carry that one out also. Carry this one down slightly. And we're going to extrude this again. Probably be a good time to fill that area. Although this is supposed to be rather straight. So the question is, do we even need this right here? It adds a nice prominence that I like. But if that's the case, we'll need another loop right there. Or we'll need to dissolve that one. Reason being is to fill that area and dissolve these edges. Well, delete those edges, fill those areas, and merge these vertices. Fill this area also. This would be a good time to have that, wouldn't it? But it's completely unnecessary. So I'll dissolve that area also and readjust these vertices slightly. You can see little by little it starts to look more like our design, but this needs to be cut, like almost as if it's cut like there. It's really strange. And don't get me wrong, you can definitely use this area just for different reasons. We'll start creating the inlet. And we know this inlet is slightly tilted like that. Very much tilted towards the rear. Let's carry this one out. And I wonder if we need to fill this area. It's worth a consideration. Looks terrible though, unless we did that. And obviously we know we got a lot of work to do in terms of this area, like that, because this area is actually separated slightly. Let's carry this down slightly. Let's join those for now. We'll join those for now. Let's rearrange that. Let's rearrange this slightly. Dissolve those for now. I mean, this crazy thing is that it's actually starting to look a little familiar. Not exactly how we want it to look. Nope. But that's because it takes time. And another thing, I wonder, let's do this. And let's dissolve that vertice. Let's use this and carry this across like that. Remember now, there's a light unit right there as well. So we got work to do on that side as well. Let's not forget. Got plenty of work to do on that area actually. Let's carry this down. Not too much. Let's make it a bit more subtle. This one, let's carry this one down as well. Let's carry that one up. Start looking a little something like that. What do we make of that? And steady through your design progress, you'll eventually start to improve the entire design. Let's extrude this. We need to enable clipping. Excellent. Let's carry that one down. Let's add some additional loops around these areas. And let's adjust those as well. This would be a good time to have some reference images so we know it folds underneath and it folds within. I mean, just the car is just so damn beautiful and smooth. Getting this all right, yeah, you can understand why I said at the bonnet it is so smooth. Let's readjust some of these as well. All of this needs a readjustment as well. This car is just too damn beautiful, I won't lie. It's just insane just how nice this car looks. Let's carry this up slightly. Just like I said, we know it's folded underneath. That's one. Also, these areas, I wonder if we should just flatten this for now. It's not a bad idea. It is not a bad idea, actually. I wonder what would happen if we just got rid of that line of vertice right there. There's no rule stopping us from doing that. It's just a question of if it would look okay. I mean, yeah, we could, but don't like the way it looks. So I'm not going to mess with it just yet. It's almost as if like we're not ready to mess with that just yet. You know what? This entire line, we're going to flatten this. Good. This way we can extrude and we can scale within. We can carry this back slightly and carry this in slightly. And this area, honestly, this area is supposed to be just one thing. Ah, I see. Another thing is, needs to be a little bit raised. Do we need this? Probably not. Perhaps we just need to keep it simple for now. Limit the amount of vertices being used essentially. Try to work with as little vertices as possible. At this point, it is okay if our design doesn't look 100% accurate, because first rule is just to get the design correct, and then we can worry about that's better, that flows well. Let's save in increments once again. I don't like how this looks from the top, and that's because it needs to be realigned. Even this area needs to be realigned. That area too. So it's kind of flows a bit better like that. As for this area, maybe it needs to come out like that. Not too far out, obviously. Same thing on this side. That's better. And from here, we can extrude this and scale it down. We want to scale it on the z-axis also. Scale it a bit more on the z-axis also. And extrude within. It would start to look like that. That's how it start to look. Which honestly isn't bad. Like, that's not bad. I don't know how long we've been working at this, maybe 30, 40 minutes. But for our design, that's actually not bad. Let's shade smooth. That's actually not bad. Like the hood it's close to what we want. This is another ingenious angle of this car. So we know it's got these things right here, which is sometimes the most difficult to create. Also, another thing right there is indented. It's indented right there in a very, very nice way, if I might add. Now, we know that this area is very, very much like that. We need to carry this back. We need to carry that back. And we probably need to carry this back also. How does that look? Still not a fan of how it looks, so we're just going to relax those vertices. Same thing with these. Just using our loop tools. Just going to relax those vertices. And we're going to carry these ones forward as well. Same thing right there. I think we'll leave this there for now, although it still doesn't feel like a perfect circle. And I think that's particularly to do with this area. That is a little bit better. Still not perfect, but that's a little bit better for the quality we're going for today. Now, originally this area was supposed to be our cut, but it's more around this area, to be honest. So we can even add it right there. I want this to be a bit more protruded. Now you see the cut, then you got the sharp line, then you got the indent. That's like three different types of vertices right there. Almost like everything is add a new loop and indent it, kind of like that. Now unfortunately this just won't be easy. This is one of those design things that will puzzle us. We'll add another loop right there. And as for these areas as well, we're also going to indent that. Probably add another loop right there and add another loop right there. It'll look a little something like that. But further down is quite accurate. But further up here, these need to be a bit more smooth, a bit more leveled. And then we have the issue of having too many vertices. So then we kind of have to just separate them slightly, because we'll start having just too many vertices. And then If we do that, it would completely change the nature of our vertices. This is one area that I never truly enjoy. Let's delete that as well. You know what? I'm just going to use this for now. I'm just going to adjust that like that. Carry one right there. And these are the ones I'm going to indent. This way, we minimize it to around possibly 3. Carry this up slightly. If we minimize it to around 3, it could work. And just change the direction of some of these. That could work. Let's carry this one out slightly. And with these ones, carry these down. Still doesn't get that look that I'm really going for, does it? It's kind of like it just doesn't want to be smooth in that area. Thankfully this is all separate. So we can actually possibly delete that now. Well, not delete it, but you get my point. We can probably just separate this area now if we wanted to. And that could help us manage the flow of things. Like what if this is flat once again? Carry this out. Let's dissolve that. Let's dissolve that. Let's add another one right there and add another one right there. And with these ones and with these vertices, these are the ones that would be, well, actually, these are the ones that would be edged in like that. And let's apply the normals. Oh, apparently normals were already applied. It's a bit more like that, if I'm being completely honest. And the only thing is that they don't look perfectly flat. Like this area is actually further up. So are those vertices, and so are these areas. Or perhaps we just need to raise these even more. Like this entire thing needs to be raised. Kind of like what we have on the blueprint. How ironic. Carry this one there. Carry this one there. Okay. Let's press double G to just separate these slightly. I don't want the gap to be that large though. I want it to be a little bit smaller. Like there is a separation, but it's not too much. Once again, this gap is just not good enough. We're going to add the loop once again and add another loop. Try that. Try that. That is a little bit better. Still not perfect, but that is a little bit better. Although I can never understand the difference in shade and colors because as far as I'm aware, the faces are all correct. But I think for this area, I think these are, yeah, I think those need some work. I don't know, perhaps they need to be edged in, perhaps not. But that we can clearly see that that side needs a bit of work. And perhaps add a loop right there, but carry this part out. So that's an interesting start to our design. We still need to create cutouts right around there. I'm thinking about just following this natural flow that we've got. Like I said previously, I kind of like the blueprint at the top. I kind of trust it. So honestly, we could do something along this. Almost like that. Almost like that. But I gotta say, it's a lot smoother. The actual design is a lot smoother. But it'll be a little something like that. But in order to get that right, we need to understand the full extent to our design. Like these areas, they are perhaps a little bit further out. The light unit is roughly correct. It's roughly correct around that area. But hold on. I think it's 3. I think it's more like 3 that needs to be adopted. I think it's more like that, but it's sort of, yeah, it's sort of, by the way, this light unit is another story. That's a whole nother story. Like I said, I'm not particularly trusting the front design. I'm not particularly trusting the front design unless I'm rearranging it to use it as a reference of some sort. But this area is supposed to be tilted, more tilted than that. And that's those areas. Supposed to be quite a bit tilted. Something like this. You'll get those little issues at the corner. I think that's honestly just the amount we subdivide it by. If the number is low, like level 1, then it doesn't look particularly good. But if it's high, like 4 or 5, it looks better. Even 3. Even 3 looks good. And if we wanted to, we could then extrude and scale down and carry this one back slightly. even though that's not exactly the plan, but I'm just trying something. Duplicate this as well, P to separate, fill this area, apply the normals and flip it. Apply the normals and flip it. I was just checking if my video is actually being recorded. Thank goodness. I've made the mistake far too many times of not recording the video. So this area could be a little something like that. You could then carry this back, and then we could obviously extrude down and delete faces and set normals once again, and it would look a little something like that. Not the best, not the worst, but certainly something to learn from. Wonder if this needs to be raised a little bit, and do we need to add a loop on the inside and raise this once again? If we add a loop on the inside, that's what it does. It messes up the entire flow of everything, which we don't necessarily want. So we may just have to raise this manually. Honestly, it's a little something like that. It is a little something like that. But I'm not entirely sold. I'm not entirely sold, if I'm being honest. Of course, we could use it. We could always delete this, fill the faces again, and try again if we wanted to. But because it's just a reference, it's just we're still in the building phase. We're not quite there yet. We could work with it for now. That is another thing, isn't it? This area, just gonna sharpen it up slightly. We're gonna duplicate this. Actually, let's not do that. We're gonna duplicate this area, P to separate, and extrude this way. Just edit it like this, and then we could just extrude like that, carry this one forwards, and like this. And let's set normals right there. And then we're going to carry this one up. Well, actually, the entire thing needs to flow with our design. Carry this one up and carry that one up. I wonder if now we can close out this area. Well, just carry it down and adjust this like that. Don't quite want to flatten that area. I can't describe, but that area is not entirely flat. And then we're going to adjust these as well. Actually, I don't like how it looks. It's almost as if I kind of ruined that area just a little bit. There's a lot of imperfections that I don't like. There's a lot of imperfections I don't like around this area. Like, I don't like the way it bulges. Honestly, I think this might also just be, this is kind of like perhaps why some designers, a lot of designers perhaps use shrink wrap. These are perhaps the area where shrink wrap could be really useful, because it gets to a point where, you know, we're just freehanding it, but it gets to a point where if the design is really tricky, there's only so much you can do in terms of like perfecting the design. There's legitimately like only so much you can do to improve it. We are going to carry this down also. Okay, not that low. Not that low. We'll carry this up a little bit. Not that low. We'll carry this up once again. And as for this area, I don't know. Probably wonder if we need to do something like that. Nope. It'll ruin it. This kind of reminds me of like a Ferrari kind of design. I just don't like the way it looks right there. Because I can tell that it's not a cohesive design. So as someone who doesn't like to use shrink wrap, I kind of understand now why some people might use shrink wrap. I mean, I like the design, but like I said, kind of also understand why some people use shrink wrap. Because also, that's another thing. How the hell would you use shrink wrap on this car? That's a good question. This entire area, I don't like it. I might end up redesigning that. But this was a good start to the S1 LM. Now we can obviously continue with the design. The question is where, and we'll do our best to like, as for the front of the car, creating these are the things right there. I'm not too bothered about that right now. I'm not too worried. But if we want to continue this design, we may start thinking about the door, a little bit about the roof, perhaps. But this was a good start. Now it's time to actually consider what we want to do about it. But first things first is to decide what we're going to do right here. Obviously, we want to separate this. But this is it's quite a straight line. So we're actually going to add a line right there. Straighten it like that. And let's see. We're going to press P to separate. We're going to separate this one as well. And we're going to press Ctrl J to join those. Let's turn on screencast keys. Sometimes we can forget about that. That's better. Just had to change the matte cap. I prefer the original matte cap. So you see these group of vertices right here. I actually want those. I'm going to duplicate those. P to separate. And we're going to join those. With these two, we actually want to merge those. And we're going to merge these ones as well. We can probably start to fill these areas and start to fill these faces also. Now, one thing that does concern me slightly is that these are supposed to be somewhat straight, so we're going to dissolve that. As for these two, we want to merge that. We're going to merge these two also. And just carry this one right there. Carry this one forward and move it up slightly. You can see viewing it from the top, it's not quite accurate. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to carry this back. There we go. Carry this one back also, because I at least want it to be somewhat straight. Not perfectly straight, but how would it look like that? So it's mostly in the sense that we got to determine which blueprint we want to trust the most, and I'd say we're going to go with the side blueprint because it's kind of obvious. You could also go with something in between, so you wouldn't have to go so extreme. You can always go with something in between without going too extreme. That's also possible. Let's duplicate these. Let's carry this to this side. And we're going to fill that. Let's fill those faces as well. Let's dissolve this vertice, at least for now. Let's merge these ones. And I believe this may need to be a little bit higher. Let's merge that as well. And we're probably going to carry this one higher also. Yeah, let's carry it back slightly. So that was a mistake. Merging those two was a mistake as it turns out. We just return them back to normal for now. And we're going to start extruding these vertices. And we're going to fill those faces and dissolve this vertice. All of a sudden, this is like super high, but why is it so high? I see. Okay. Let's relax those areas. And let's carry these vertices down slightly. Although, I just noticed as well, this area might be just a little bit too high. So we're actually going to carry it down also. Same thing right there. And we're going to carry this down also. Something along those lines. Now we could carry this one there. Just wondering if it's accurate. Honestly, it's not too far from the truth, is it? But I only want those ones affected. Let's merge these ones. Wonder if we should carry this along this side. And probably carry that one along that side also. I just noticed these are actually not straight when in actuality I kind of want it to be. Let's delete those vertices. At least keep that one right around there. And with this one, we'll separate these. We'll continue working with that one for now. Perhaps want to carry this down as well. So it's like I was saying, these vertices, kind of want this to be closer with everything. So let's carry it forwards. Let's carry this one right there. What we can actually do right about now is perhaps flatten this and dissolve that vertex right there. And with these, we can start extruding. We can also start extruding these vertices also. And we'll just continue to extrude these ones as well. And let's have a look at how does that look from the side. Clearly we need to move these up. This is what I was originally concerned about because it's like I said, it's not the exact same from the side, so we still have to use some common sense. But I did mention that I'm just going to work with the blueprint from the side. because that's what we're designing right here. So we kind of have to trust it and fill that area and extrude this down. Perhaps carry it out slightly. And we're just going to extrude these again like that. Now that's another thing. This is not all that flat. We're going to add some loop cuts around these areas. I'm going to fill those areas right there. And we're going to continue filling these areas. Probably add another line right there and join those and carry this out slightly. Wonder if we should also add one right there. How about there as well? And perhaps fill those. Let's try to line these up slightly. Carry these ones down, carry these ones up, carry these up as well. We're also going to carry these ones up also. And we're going to carry these ones up also. Perhaps this would be a good time to have a look at the real thing. One thing I can say for sure is that these are definitely lowered, while these ones are a bit more raised. I'll lower this as well. And these ones somewhat extruded in and carried down. But in my opinion, I think these are closer together. I do think they're closer together. And I think there's a lot more space in between them. And this area is somewhat raised. Almost like that. Almost like this. I wonder if we should just flatten this. Probably flatten this also. And probably flatten this also. And how about we then extrude this forward, carry it in like that, and scale it down, but rotate it slightly like that, or flatten it on the y-axis, just carry it in like there. Like this entire thing, I wonder if we should like bezel this and add another one right there. That is close to what it looks like, just not entirely accurate. And just rearrange those. Wonder if it'll be a good time to fill these areas. And add another loop cut right there. And some additional vertices around this area. And add another loop right there. We're going to join those. And join these ones as well. Probably add one there as well. And join those ones as well. I have no idea if this is going to work. But what I'm hoping to accomplish is with these faces, I can then extrude this. It's extruded down. It's kind of weird. It's extruded down, almost like a vent, like that. But this face is deleted, and this area has a somewhat of a bezel. Once again, feel like I want to flatten that area. See if it works. For now, we're just going to get rid of this, just to stop all the confusions, or at least to avoid the confusions. And with these ones, we're going to scale this down, scale down again, and then carry this one within and flatten this. That is partly how it works. But then we're going to duplicate this, and we're going to start extruding these areas. Add another vertex here right there, and we're going to start extruding like that. Continue extruding. I think the side skirt might be separated. Well, it is, but the door itself sort of folded in. Not to mention these areas are edged in quite a bit. I mean, first it's flat. So let's flatten this. First it's flattened on the x-axis. It's carried out. And then I'm going to add another one right there, another loop. Well, another vertice. Then we're going to carry these ones in. This one is edged out quite a bit. We're going to add some additional loops around these areas. Now, in terms of this area, I wonder if we should just P2 separate for now. That way we can concentrate solely on that area. That way we can start filling these faces, joining those areas, continue to fill these faces. And we're also going to extrude this, carry it down, but fold it within, add another loop right there, and it's sort of out like that. Carry it up and extrude that way. Extrude there, fill those, and fill those as well, and join those. Extrude once again, and fill those areas. There we go. This could work. If I'm being honest, it could. So we're going to extrude that right there and extrude this as well. And then we want to merge these. Probably need a group of vertices right there and start filling this area. And just reorganize those. We don't want too many vertices around this area, to be honest. That is quite enough. Restructure these slightly, just so that they're not too close together. That's a bit better. Extrude another vertex right there, and extrude another one right there. And then we're going to extrude another one right there. With these, we're going to fill. I'm improvising slightly right here because it's not the most visible area. So just improvising slightly. Now as for this area, the side skirts kind of connects out right there. So to be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure what to even do right there. But one thing I can say is that I'm going to do this, and I'm going to get rid of that edge. We can probably get rid of this edge also and shade smooth everything from there. As for this area, we can then consider if it's necessary to move it up, and perhaps consider moving it within. Okay, so we need to join those. Looks like there are duplicated faces right there. Let's join these as well. That is brilliant. There we go. And then we're just going to carry this within. Just going to carry this within on the x-axis. Same thing right there. Sort of bends or folds within on the x-axis slightly. There we go. Same thing with that one. We'll carry it out slightly as well. We'll add another loop right there and flatten this. Well, perhaps not flatten, but we'll definitely carry it out like around there slightly. We may even flatten both of them like this and rotate it slightly in that direction on the z-axis. Then we want to restructure these also. Then we want to carry this one up slightly, I would say, and rotate this once again. Well, actually, this area, we'll just carry this up like that. We will carry this one right there, carry this one down, and add another loop right there. It's one thing with these, they are supposed to be a little bit more protruded. Even these ones as well. A little bit more protruded. So you can see what it looks like from that direction. This area, we'll carry it out slightly. Can add another loop right there if we wanted to, but we don't have to. Just getting this corner right could be difficult. Even this right here is not correct in any way, but we'll just leave it there for now because that's going to be important to build on. Like later, if you wanted to build on this design, then this is where these things become important. That area is so damn smooth. So this entire area kind of needs redesigning, but I'm giving you the basics so that you can essentially do this yourself. Now this area, we can actually extrude this if we wanted to. And we could rotate it on the z-axis and carry it out slightly. We're going to merge these two, merge those ones as well, and we're going to carry this down. Carry this one down and carry that one down also. Let's add another loop right there. This might be a tricky area. Something tells me, however, these need to be closer in. So you want to see that, you know, something is clearly taking place. That's another thing also. This area is super flat. We'll carry this one out also. And we may want to flatten this. Flatten that a little bit more. And carry this one out also. And carry this one out. And carry this one out also. There we go. This would take a lot of work to do as well. To get right. Feels like I want to have another vertex around there. And adjust this one also. But this entire area, flatten it on the x-axis. Say flatten that area as well. Question is, how are we going to do this? We can extrude this part in slightly. And as for this area, we'll carry this in as well. As for this area, we'll carry that part in as well. Just notice another thing right here is with these vertices, we need to scale these, but on active element on the y-axis. Scale it on active element on the y-axis. This one as well. So one thing we accomplish with this is that it becomes well hidden, but I still keep my statements as the same. We need to redesign this entire area, including this area, like dissolve in that area as well. Probably dissolve this as well. Probably add a loop right there and join these and carry this one out. Carry this up, carry this down, and carry this out as well. This little vertex right here, I actually want to carry this one out as well. Feels like that area should be somewhat flat, and it feels like this area should be further in, kind of like that. Yeah, add another loop right there, add another loop right there, and join those. I feel like it's more like that. Now, believe it or not, this door unit is merged with these. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to save this in increments. We're going to join these two, and then we can think about extruding perhaps again and extrude this way. These two, I want to merge these with these. I'm going to merge these, and naturally we know these ones need to be further down, so flatten them. Well, to be honest, before we flatten them, perhaps we just need to extrude. That's better. Yep, and then flatten this side. Carry it up slightly, and then we can start merging this area and fill in these areas also. Now I wonder what we ought to do with this area. Flatten it again. I've carried it forward because my intentions are to sort of fill these areas, even though that might not work. Probably fill that area also, and fill this area also. Reorganize this so it's sort of like in one line, and we kind of do have it. It's just not a perfect design, that's all. Well, probably far from perfect. Okay, so now we've got to think about this area, and we need to carry these up. Carry these ones up also, and carry this one down, and carry this one there. Carry this in and merge those. How about we dissolve this edge? Well, delete this edge. This area we'll delete those as well. That's a bit better. We can fill that area and we can join those. Add another loop right there and join that also. Do we need another loop right there? Could join those as well. I wonder if this is supposed to be further indented, and perhaps so should these two. As for this, we'll delete that. I don't know why it's there. Carry these in slightly. I wonder if we should replace this. Straighten that as well. Wonder if we straighten the entire thing. Not necessarily. That'll do. So I don't know, what do you think about the design so far? Obviously there's more to do, but it's really annoying not having the full blueprint. That's annoying because in terms of accuracy, it's not accurate at all, which does annoy me because it's such a beautiful car. We could duplicate these, add this right there, separate, and we can perhaps begin extruding. We can then extrude as well, extrude again, and we can then extrude a couple more times. And I believe this is supposed to be slightly in like that. Oh yeah, let's add vertice right there because we know these are supposed to be edged out. Even this area is supposed to be edged out slightly. And carry this one out also, and carry this one out also. Now from the top you can clearly see that I believe this area is supposed to be a lot more bulky. We do not have the real blueprint. We sort of have to work with what we have. So this line, once again, It's got to be out slightly. And also going to move this part out slightly. We're then going to extrude this area. Wonder if we should add a loop right there. We could, just to get this part right, but we also don't have to. Wonder if we should just create a cut right there. It's not what I was going for. Honestly, for now, we won't do that. But this area, I want it to be an all-in-one straight line. We'll carry this down as well. We'll carry this one down as well. And as for this area, we'll carry this down as well. We'll carry this one down as well. There we go. We'll extrude once more. We'll continue to extrude. We'll extrude another one and extrude another one. This area should be merged with this. Then we can start filling those faces. We can start filling these faces as well. And we can even fill those as well. Add another vertex right there. Perfect. So how is this looking so far? I wonder if we should just merge these two. Keep it minimal for now. We don't want to overcomplicate it just yet, especially if it's unnecessary. Let's fill those areas. We'll fill these areas as well. And we'll fill those areas too. You know what, actually? We're just going to carry this out and fill that area instead of overcomplicating it. This needs to be bulged out slightly. And then we'll join those. We may adjust these as well. This is quite an interesting design. I've wonder if we need to get rid of some of these if they are all necessary. This one can readjust these as well. We can add a loop right there. And we can duplicate this, carry it down, and fill these areas. I'll get rid of that in a moment. But for now, just going to create this right there. And all of this is going to be folded in eventually. Merge these two and duplicate this right here and extrude. Now with these ones, sort of need to carry these in. Add another vertex right there and fill those. Extrude once again. Add another loop right there. Add another loop right there. And fill. And fill that as well. This area is also, this also needs to be like indented in. Fill that area. Carry this area in also. I may even carry this in a little bit more. This needs to be edged in a lot as it goes further towards the air inlet. Yes. And then we'll fill. And then we'll join. We'll duplicate these and fill those. We will then fill these areas and we'll fill those as well. Merge this and move this one forward. We're going to fill this area and join those and fill that area as well. Select all, shift and set the normals. This is quite ambitious, but it's kind of a strange feeling. I'm both happy with this design, but also terribly disappointed because I wish I had the real stuff to work with. But you know, sometimes by working with the worst or the least you can find and still being able to do a good job is what really defines a true designer. So we shouldn't see this as a bad thing or a negative in any way. This is a good thing. Now I did want to get rid of this. I did want to get rid of those. But if we do it, then we could be in a precarious situation. Wonder if we should just delete that area and fill this area, join those, and not sure what we'll do with that area just yet. Let's rearrange this and we'll rearrange these as well. There we go. We'll rearrange those as well. But actually, perfect. We can join those. No idea how this is going to look. And what's even crazy is that it's almost as if I've forgotten how it's even supposed to look. We're going to extrude this just a tiny amount. And then we're going to extrude again, but just carry this in. I wonder if we need to carry this down. And we'll just carry this back. This could be a tricky area just to get this right, because as you can see, we designed it so differently. So this could genuinely be a bit of a challenge to get right. But then again, it might not be. I mean, all we need to do is just to sort of connect these. It's like connecting the dots, you know? Carry this one in also. As for this area, carry this one in also, and carry this one, and carry this one forwards. So we'll end up looking something like that, which is not 100% correct, as you can see right there. Because this also means that these will have to go in slightly. So with these, and then sort of add some loop cuts around there. We also need one of those, carry this out slightly, and add some loop cuts around this area as well. You see how this entire area is kind of like indented? Yeah, that's not supposed to be the case necessarily. Let's try flattening that area. Wonder if we should also flatten this area and carry this one down, carry this one up. There we go. Probably carry this one in like this, carry this one back slightly. Shade smooth this entire thing, and let's add some additional loops around this area. Even that's not 100% accurate. And as for this area, I want to extrude it in and do that. Hold on a minute. Extrude and scale down. It's scaling on active element, that's the only problem. Change to median point, extrude again, scale, good, and then extrude inwards. Probably extrude again. No, probably just one extrusion, and carry this back and straighten this on the y-axis. So it's like this, but it's kind of shifted down there. In this area, we do that as well. I wonder if this needs to be, yeah, kind of needs to be a little bit more straight. Carry this area down, carry this area up, carry this one up also. So it is something similar to that, but I believe this might actually be a little bit more like this. How strange. Just going to rearrange those manually, of course. It's a little bit open, but it's that particular area is it's quite a dark part of the design. Good. So if you've made it this far, really good job. You can then duplicate this area and essentially P to separate, and duplicate this once again, carry this up, view this from the top, carry this in, rotate it slightly like that. And we may need another one right around there, but then probably carry this area down. You can fill this area, fill that area, and fill these areas also. Same thing right there if we wanted to. We can then dissolve this area, dissolve that edge as well. And as for these, can actually carry this up. Carry this up also. Carry this down slightly. Carry that one down slightly. And look at that. Completely wrong way. Like, completely wrong. That is completely wrong. This curvature, we might have to dissolve that, add a new curvature, and just carry it up slightly. And we can probably shade smooth that area if we wanted to. So from here, it's really down to you just how much more of the design you want to do. But it's looking fantastic. It's looking fantastic. Not the best work I've created, but considering the circumstances, it's actually quite interesting. Now, I'm really curious if what I've created so far can actually help you to create the rest of the vehicle. As for this area, we can then extrude this like that and probably rotate it slightly. Rotate it a bit more if we wanted to. These are probably the time to start making that curvature in the bodywork. Or should we just keep it as we had it before, because the entire thing sort of curves over? Although this inlet right there, this is where it then lowers. So this part is a bit more straightforward. Let's carry this up. And I wonder if this should also be a little bit higher. Almost like this. Can probably get rid of this loop. Carry this area up. And carry this in. May need another vertex here right there. We may need to readjust this also. And we can probably then flatten this area. And well, I should say fill. Don't know what I was talking about for a minute. Let's rearrange these slightly. We'll carry this out slightly. Well, actually, this area is kind of wrong. I just noticed this area is kind of wrong because these are supposed to be out there. And right, these should not be that low. We'll probably, let's fill those faces. Fill those faces as well. We kind of need this right here. Fill that as well. And fill that area as well. There we go. That'll probably work a little bit better. Yep, this will probably work a little bit better. Rearrange these ones so it's like, so the bodywork makes sense. And carry this one that way. These two, we'll carry these up slightly. This one should be up slightly as well. And then extrude this. And we can start looking at where the roofing is. It gets rather confusing really quick because of just simply because of how that blueprint is. It can get rather confusing. But nonetheless, we're going to fill those faces, fill those as well. Actually, fill those as well. Join these ones. Rearrange these ones. That is a little bit better. And we'll consider this area as well. You see, the thing about it is that I have to manually restructure these, rearrange these ones on the X. And then if we do that, it doesn't make much sense. So we got to be careful with this, extra careful. And carry this one in like this, and we're going to fill that area and fill this area, and we're going to fill this area also and join those. We're also going to join these and merge these and restructure these ones as well. May need to add a loop on the inside around there, and we'll join those. And something tells me this is slightly raised, but not by a lot. Fix the normals on that one, and let's add a loop right there. Well, vertice. Let's add another loop right there, another vertice right there, and join these as well. Add another vertice right there. This way I can delete that vertice. But these ones, you can clearly see these are not close enough. So this entire thing has to be like readjusted slightly. We're going to flatten these group of vertices on the x-axis. There we go. And carry them in. Then we're going to delete this vertice. This one, we need to fill that face. That's good. I see. We need to add a vertice right there. Merge these two. Add a vertice right there. Merge these and merge those as well. And then with this, we can delete this edge. We can then extrude this, scale in, move this down slightly, and extrude down. We perhaps need another loop around here. And with these group of vertices, we'll perhaps draw these a little bit closer together. Not all of them though. And we'll carry this one down and carry this down as well. We are going to fill those vertices and fill these ones as well. We can join these and we can join those. Join those as well and join those. But now you see this area is supposed to be separated from the other ones. Now this is supposed to be separated. We're going to extrude this again. There we go. Extrude this once again and fill those. We'll carry this down as well. We'll carry this one there. Got to be careful with that because as you can see, it's not to scale. Even this area, I was basically saying this is not to scale either. I mean, we could essentially extend it, but we don't want to, do we? What we actually want to do is to scale this down. Scale this on active element. Scale it on active element like that. But this is not even close to the rear. This messes up everything quite a lot. Like it looks better like that, it looks a lot better from that direction, but now everything is off. Like the entire scale is messed up. We're gonna duplicate these right here. Well, we're gonna flatten these on the y-axis. Then we can duplicate them, carry them forward, P to separate, and then we can extrude. Then we can carry this in like that. We can extrude it inwards as well. extrude this inwards as well, and extrude that part inwards as well. And we can fill those faces. This is essentially to create our little roof. And carry this back, and carry this down, and carry this down as well. We can further extrude and continue extruding. And we can then change the direction from here as well. Let's see. We can also extrude this as well and carry this one down. And we can fill these areas and carry this down as well. And shade smooth that area. Let's add another loop right there. And add another loop right there. And we can then carry these down. And carry these down as well. Honestly, it doesn't need to be that low. What am I doing? It really doesn't need to be that low. Let's add some loops around that area. So in general, we do have the general shape, but the problem is the scale is completely off because we're working with different blueprints. Blueprints that simply make no damn sense. They simply make no damn sense. But that's as far as we can take it. It's a beautiful car, beautiful design, but that's as far as we can take it without the correct blueprint. Honestly, I want to redesign this entire thing. I will redesign this entire thing, but I'm going to do it with the correct blueprints when they're released online. As for now, we don't have the correct blueprints. Something strange about this car is that this entire section right here, the centerpiece right here, should honestly be further back. It's just crazy. It's possible that you can finish it without the correct blueprints though, but I'm gonna leave it there. I hope you enjoy the video. Hope you enjoy this lesson. It's been really educational. And if anything, I've also proven to you that if the blueprint is not the best, if it's not ideal, you can still work with it temporarily. But thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. If you want to support the channel, buy our car designing course. Links are in the description. I will see you in the next video. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment of support, and share this video with your friends and anyone you know who's interested in 3D designing. Peace.